So we're out here in Vegas. We're up in our room right now. We got the window open, and what do we see? What's outside?
The T-Mobile Arena.
The T-Mobile Arena. They got some fights going down, man. What do you think? What's bet DSI got
All right,
going?
first off, I'm on fire.
Give me some odds, yeah, but give me bet DSI odds.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I have a sheet in front of me. Big Ferg was plus 200 last week. He's down to plus 161, which means he's still a time and a half underdog. So you can get time and a half on Big Ferg. Now, Chael, this is
but that
Tony
might
Ferguson
be for the handicappers out there. That might be the most competitive that anyone has ever been with Khabib Nurmagomedov. I don't believe anybody after Khabib broke onto the scene was ever plus 160.
I like Tony Ferguson. I'm rooting for Tony Ferguson. Ben Askren did Luke Thomas's show, and Ben broke it down like a wrestler. This is a wrestling match, and he is so dominant in several positions, and he's never seen anybody in mixed martial arts that dominant. Askren gave such a analogy of how he's going to win the fight.
For who? For Ferg or Khabib? You're burying your league. Okay, Askren took Khabib.
Askren took Khabib. He said he's so dominant.
He thinks he gets on top, pressures him with those hips, and starts pounding.
Yeah.
Does he think it goes a distance, or what did he say there?
He thought it would go the distance.
What's Bet DSI have him at? Bet DSI has him at...
Plus, Ferguson's at plus 161.
Okay.
Tony Ferguson's at plus 161.
Hey, tell me this before you even get into the main event. What's going on with Reem and Hunt? Because I'm a little bit torn on that fight, particularly with, what they both did in Japan, what they both done in K1 and kickboxing and striking. I can see that fight going a couple of different ways, man.
Man, I don't. Oh God, I'm a fan. I like Hunt. Hunt is plus 120, so he's actually an underdog. Overeem's been knocked out several times. I mean, I think 2 out of the past 4 times he's been knocked completely out.
But Bet DSI had some odds there where if Hunt knocks out Overeem, but he does it in the 3rd round, it's like 18.
18. Here it is. I'll go Overeem first. Overeem by KO round 1 pays you 3-1. Overeem by KO round 2, words are easy, pays you 8-1. Overeem by KO round 3 pays you 15-1. Overeem by decision pays you 16-1. Hunt by KO round 1 pays you 3-1. Hunt by KO round 2 pays you 8-1. Hunt KO round 3 pays you 18-1.
Wow,
that's the one that jumped out on both of us.
I don't know that I believe that Hunt is going to get a KO. However, I do personally believe if he gets a KO, it's likely to be in the 3rd round. I don't think it's going to be a situation where it happens in the first. I don't think those guys are going to engage the way many people think they are. I think it's going to be a little bit of a slower start for these two monsters. I like that. I mean, if you're telling me that Hunt's going to get a KO, I'm going to tell you, well, then it's going to happen in the 3rd round. If you're saying Bet DSI, I'll give you 18-1 to make that come true. I think you got to consider that bet.
I love that bet.
Get to the main event.
No. Here's one for you. Rashad Evans is coming back.
Okay. Dan Kelly.
What do you think about that fight?
Well, so I think that Dan Kelly has looked pretty bad. I don't think he's a very skilled guy. Now he's growing quickly. The same was said, to remind you, of Damian Maia when Damian started, and it was true. Damian was very limited, and Kelly's also very limited. But much like Damian Maia, Kelly's got a big heart, and he's tough as an old leather boot, and he's not going to quit. He beat Zapata, Shoeface, who came out to Portland and beat Gary Tonin. That was a big upset for me, and I thought that Shoeface was the better fighter, but he couldn't hold up. Kelly won't go away. He stays in there, and he bugs you. Old Rashad, I don't think he has much of a problem. New Rashad may not have much of a problem, but I haven't seen him in a while. I just haven't seen him. He didn't really get out there and get going in the Glover fight. He had that Tim Kennedy debacle and whatever had happened with getting him licensed. So, I think Rashad's probably going to have to work. But if you're asking me whose skills are better, it's Rashad without even a consideration.
You think you like that bet at Hunt at 18-1 with a KO round 3?
Yeah.
Evans by decision gets you 16-1.
Really? Now, who's a favorite? Who's favored in that fight, just straight up to win? I imagine Rashad, correct?
No, Kelly's favored to win that fight.
Really? Yeah. Well, hey, Kelly. I can sit here and tell you all these things from my living room that I saw problems with his skill set. But again, if you want to talk about intangibles, and intangibles is what wins fights, particularly if you're handicapping these things. You have to look at the fact that he is tough, and he's not scared to compete. He's not going to be scared of Rashad. He's going to go out and he's going to compete. That'll take you a long way. Skill-wise, speed-wise, strength-wise. Don't forget about the size here. Rashad's coming down to 185 pounds. Don't lose sight of that. That's going to be a big guy, and he's going to move a little bit quicker than you're used to.
Main event.
Here we go.
Woodley versus Thompson.
Tell me how you see that.
Listen, man.
Before you tell me the odds, I want to know how you see who wins that fight.
I think Thompson's going to beat him, and I'm rooting for Woodley. I think Thompson's going to get him.
Stop him?
Oh, man. I got to have a hard time thinking he's going to stop T. Woodley, but I do think he's going to beat him in a decision. I want Woodley to win. If I was betting money, if I bet money on it, I will bet Woodley. But if I'm telling you guys who do I truly think is going to win, I think Thompson's going to win that fight.
Boy, I like what you said there about a decision. I hope it goes to a decision. I would love to see those guys fight for 25 minutes. I thought that first fight was really compelling, and it took T. Wood a little bit to figure out that style. That's a weird style, and T. Wood did the best he could. He brought in Sage Northcutt. He's got that karate background, but he had a really hard time dealing with Thompson like everybody else has. But once Tyron started to figure that out, started to figure out that timing and range, he set him down. He set him down a couple times and almost finished him. So we do need to see a bit of a continuation, and I will just tell you, with my gut, man, I could see that going either way. I think if Tyron wins, Tyron stops him. I think if Wonder Boy wins, Wonder Boy stops him. And if it goes to a decision, I don't know. You're going to have to look to the judges. I thought Tyron won the last fight, but I do get the argument for draw, but I thought it favored Tyron. I thought he looked a little bit better. I think that's going to affect both of their mentalities. But it's an interesting contest, and if you could guarantee me I could get that for 25 minutes, man, that's going to be one decision I look forward to.
Yeah, Woodley is plus 128, the champion. So he was an underdog the first time.
So they're almost even money.
That was a draw. Well, plus 128 is almost plus 130. That's more than a little. Plus 110, plus 115 is basically even.
Okay.
Plus 130 is a legitimate favorite.
Does BetDSI have an opinion on whether it will go to a decision or not?
Same things here. A draw pays you 45 to 1. Thompson by decision pays you 8 to 1. Thompson by KO round 5 pays you 20 to 1. Round 4 pays you 15 to 1. Thompson by KO round 3 pays you 10 to 1. Woodley, if he KOs him in round 1, pays you 8 to 1. Woodley KO round 2 pays you 10 to 1. Round 3, 12 to 1. Round 4, 18 to 1. And round 5, 20 to 1.
All right.
How about some boxing? You want to pick some boxing fights?
We are still boxing?
We are in Las Vegas. I have 4 sheets. So the boxing sheet. Danny Garcia versus Keith.
I'm out.
Thurman.
Move on. Don't know who any of them are. Next.
Daniel Jacobs versus Gennady Golovkin.
Out. Golovkin's a scumbag, man, and as good as he is, if he's not going to fight somebody that fans want to see him fight, then F him. Next.
Vladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua.
Couldn't care less. Didn't know Klitschko was still fighting. Wish that he won it. He and his brother ruined boxing for well over a decade.
All right, now this one.
We have not have a North American pay-per-view in boxing in the heavyweight division that you could be excited about or look forward to since the Klitschkos emerged. Those guys single-handedly ruined boxing for North America. Now, those guys aren't even big in Russia or Chechnya or the Ukraine. They are big in Germany, of all places. And there's nothing that you can do when you have guys like this. You want to talk about the Ollie Act and all these different things, man. How about a promoter that can't sell any tickets because his 2 champions are too good to beat and too damn boring to care about? You've got to be able to cut the guy. You've got to be able to have intern championships. You have to have some kind of leverage to create something that's marketable. I do not care about either Klitschko, and I really wish they'd just go away. Now, there is a fight coming up. Who's that redheaded Mexican that you and I like? I can never say his name, but it's Alvarez.
Canelo. Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez. He's going to be fighting that pothead.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Now, I like that fight because I liked his old man. Now, the kid can fight too, but not very well, at least on that level. But he can fight. He cannot go with Canelo Alvarez, but I think that will draw. I think you bring two Mexican fighters in. I think anybody named Cesar Chavez that's in the boxing world deserves respect. Again, it's largely because of the old man. But the kid, the nut didn't fall that far from the tree. The kid's just lazy. But I do like Canelo, man. I really do like Canelo.